Hey gardeners, and welcome to my urban garden. Right now, I'm going to show you how I use Hugelkultur to fill up these two beds that my husband had built for me. So first, when we talk about Hugelkultur, it is an environmentally sound and cost-effective way to fill up your garden beds so you're not spending a ton of money on expensive gardening and potting soils or peat mosses that can help you grow organic vegetables and provide organic matter to your soil. So here are some of the ways that I like to Hugelkultur. First, I added tree limbs. If you are trimming any trees, bushes, or hedges on your property before the intense winds and heavy rains of the fall and winter season set in, this is a good time to load that into your garden bed. So first, I just started with those leaves from some of the trees we've trimmed. We had some heavy rains and some of our trees got a little beat up and our hedges got a little beat up, and we were able to kind of clip those away and put those in our garden beds. The next step we used were things like leaves. You can also use grass clippings. So as we begin to rake up around the yard in the coming days, we will throw all of that good carbon onto our Hugelkultur beds. Also, right now, as we're cleaning our homes and we're cleaning off shelves and kids are getting back to school, it's a really good idea to start shredding up all of that paper. If you get paper, you will make sure you remove the plastic. It's not too much dye. You throw that paper through the shredder. That can also provide good carbon for your Hugelkultur bed. So also, if you have some really good biodegradable paper and cardboard, you want to throw that into your Hugelkultur bed as well. Also, things that we were doing in days leading up to planting out our garden beds, we threw garden scraps, kitchen scraps. So if you peeling any potatoes or carrots, any of the ends to your onions, eggshells. Now, I know typically when we have a compost pile, we don't want to add the rinds of oranges or lemons or any other citrus. The rinds of citrus have an essential oil that could definitely kill off some of the good bacteria that plants benefit from. But I did end up using quite a few citrus peels in these Hugelkultur beds, and then making it a point to tarp it overnight or in the coming days, just to try to keep as many pests out as possible. So tarping those Hugelkultur beds, also, especially when it's warm outside, the sun can further help break down some of those elements, those food scrap elements. So I definitely made it a point to tarp the beds each time I added a layer so that they can start processing and breaking down. After that, I added some municipal compost. So if you do have a municipality that provides quality compost, definitely you want to use those in your garden beds because they're very cost effective and also really environmentally sound because it is usually yard waste from your neighbors or food waste from local businesses. But I just found that our municipal compost is not very healthy. It turns out they heat it to very high temperatures to get it to process quickly. And it really does take out some of those important macronutrients that is present in high quality compost or garden soils. So it's usually one of the lower layers of my Hugelkultur bed. And then after that, I would add a really good organic potting or raised bed gardening soil. Here in hot, dry Texas, zone 8B/9, something that can really help me retain moisture in my raised garden beds is really important. So I want to make sure that those top few inches are a good quality organic potting, garden, or raised beds container soil. Gardening in raised beds can be so helpful, but it also can be costly. So Hugelkultur is definitely a great way to save money and to also cut down on the amount of waste that we're putting into landfills. So try giving Hugelkultur a go when it comes to raised garden beds as a way to save yourself on the rising costs of soil that are happening out here. So gardeners, make sure that you're providing that good organic matter for your plants now and well into the future. Thank you for joining me in my urban garden. And remember, there's always room to grow.